How's it going, everyone? Hopefully everybody's been having a great day so far. I wanted to just send this video out to you guys today. The title of this video is going to be called The Ugly Truth. This video is going to be really talking in as much detail as I can in the short period of time that I have here to give you guys an understanding about the Forex market. Make you guys understand that why, not really as to why, but what's going on in the Forex world. I mean, obviously why too, but I want you guys to understand why I do the videos that I do, because to me, I'm trying to help people that are new to the industry and they're naive, and it's easy for them to believe anybody. And I'm going to basically answer the reason as to why it is easy to believe these people. I want to provide you with questions that you can ask these companies. I want to provide you with key points that if companies do either of these things, or if all of them, then you should stay away. Things like that, so you can know what to look out for, so you can see companies through my eyes. So maybe that can help you. So maybe you don't have to come to me and say, hey, how do you, what do you think about this company? You can do it for yourself, and you can say, oh, well, I see this, and that, probably a no-go. I'm gonna leave, and hopefully that makes your decision a little bit easier. So let's get started with that. So this all really started, and from what I gathered, because I've been in this industry for 6 years. This June will mark the 6th year that I actually got into the industry. I wasn't making money for 6 years. That's obvious, but I've been in this industry for 6 years this June, and I've seen a lot of stuff. In my opinion, I've pretty much seen it all, but I don't think anything could get any worse. But I mean, there's always wiggle room, right? But in my opinion, this all really started about that time, about 4 or 5 years ago. And it all started with the binary options realm. Binary options are, I don't think, in any way, shape, or form the way they used to be. It was always like, I always told people to really stay away from binary options, because binary options, like when I mean binary options, I mean these offshore brokers like G Options. Now that's a really big one that I know of. Trade Rush, I know, is like a really big one. 24 Options, which I know is a really big one, because the idea of binary options is that the market is always going to be against you. I mean, what I mean by the market, I mean the broker. The broker's always against you, because you put in $100 to make a percentage that's below 100. So you're risking more to make a small return. And to me, that is that's a really big thing that you should look into, because it means that the broker is going to always, it's always going to be in their favor, not yours. And that's why I always told people, you might want to stay away from that. I know a lot of people have asked me about Nadex. I mean, I think Nadex is a great platform. This is something that you can find ways to manage your risk. Unlike binary options overseas, where I've never seen a broker that can do it, but maybe there is one, but I've never seen that. You put up more money than what you stand to make. Obviously with Nadex, you can put in $30 to make 100, meaning that you put in 30 to make 70. So you have that ability to manage your risk, which I think is great. So I definitely promote Nadex in that way. But anyways, it really all started with the binary options realm. You had companies like binaryoptionsignals.com, which really, in my opinion, spawned the green room. Binaryoptionsignals.com was a company that you got on like Skype or something like that, and you talked with the owner, and he would call out trades. I believe he was in France. I don't think he had a French accent or anything, but if I remember right, I met him before through a call a couple years later. And just wanted to talk around with people, meet people, and I ended up meeting him, and I believe he said he was from France. And so he had the ability to send out signals. Obviously, if you're an American and you call out trades like that, it's illegal. But yeah, so understanding that. But anyways, you spawned the green room phase, which was a huge thing. I mean, in my belief, what the green room showed people as a community, as a whole, it showed not how easy it was to make money out of the market. It showed people how easy it was to make money off of people, which is completely different, obviously. All 4 of the guys that ran the green room were either part of MLM companies, or they were drop shippers, I believe is what they're called, or like eBay people or something like that. I don't know what that means, but yeah, they were like drop shippers. I did a research and found that they were these drop shippers type people. So they were really, really good at knowing how to sell to people, is what I'm trying to say here. And basically, They really screwed a lot of people, tons of people. But what happened through that was that all of these different companies, and it's so crazy because I can almost guarantee you that about 70% of the companies that are out there today in the Forex world, trading just Forex, not the binary options stuff, but just trading in the Forex market itself, I can almost guarantee you 70% of them came from the green room. I can, without a shadow of a doubt, I can almost guarantee you that's where they came from, because it showed people, hey, they make money off of their affiliates. They make money off of the brokers. They make money off of the subscription. I can make so much money because they made tons of money off of that. They didn't make I don't even, if they made $1 trading, it was probably it was probably 0.001% of it. The rest of it came from affiliate money through the brokers and through signups like that and their membership fee. That was where it all came from, because you have to think, these brokers overseas in the binary options realm were paying them at the minimum $300, and they had about 2,000 people in their group. Understand that at the time, everybody was pretty new to the industry, so nobody had a broker, so they would follow their broker. It's not like now where if you have a business with binary options, people already have a broker in mind, so they don't choose yours. At that time, it wasn't like that. So everybody was choosing their broker, and guess what? Even if you say half of those people bought into that, you think $300 in the signups, 1,000 of those people went to their broker. They just made 300 grand like that. And so $250,000 already made in a second. They made that. And then you think all 2,000 of them were paying $100 a month. So you say that's another 2,000 times 100. I mean, you start adding the math and you start seeing how much they were making. It is absurd how much money they were making. And they were doing this with multiple brokers. They didn't do it just one. If I remember right, they had like 2 or 3 brokers that they were doing it with to make money off of people. And so that happened. As that fell off, that's when a lot of groups started happening. And I see it's a lot of groups on Facebook. I'm going to tell you now, this is an ugly truth, starting with Ugly Truth 1. Companies that really promote Facebook groups, you're really wasting your time. I have yet to see a Facebook group that was even remotely beneficial to you at all. I've been sent to Facebook groups to be able to, I guess, analyze it to see if what they were showing was legit or whatever, but I've been shown a lot of stuff, and typically from what I see, it's nothing but drama. And if it isn't drama, it's other people calling out trades for other people, and it is just, it's almost like just virtual vomit, just every single day. It's just, you never know what's going to come up. It's just always just out there. And it's gross and disgusting. And it's just, there's no reason to pay for that. You have a lot of companies that will include that into their payment plan. They'll say, with this price, you get exclusive access to our Facebook group. I mean, if that right there, X that out of the equation, because you don't even have time for that. Your focus should not be on Facebook groups, because you will not gain anything from it. That is a fact. You will not. I cannot find one person. Now, I'm sure people will come up from these other groups that are affiliates, right? That will say, well, I learned from the Facebook group. Oh, you didn't learn from the CEO? Oh, you didn't learn from the strategy? You didn't learn from the Facebook group. Okay, well then what is it? Where did you learn actually? And then you go back and forth and you find out that no, the Facebook group didn't help them at all. So I understand the community aspect of it. I totally understand that. But within this industry, community is not top priority. I understand that, like that you want to have that community, you want to have that communication, but try to find people within the business that you can relate to, or if they have a Facebook group, try to find people that actually know what they're talking about, which what you will find within Facebook groups is that usually the people who actually know what they're doing and have found the way of what to do, they usually keep silent because they don't have time for it. They don't care. So, so that's a big thing. Another harsh truth is that, and this is going to be a big one, is that this industry isn't for everybody. I want you to understand that within this industry, you're going to find a lot of companies selling you strategy, selling you these strategies, these methods, indicators, templates, whatever, stuff like that. That is just a way for them to make you think that what they have is a gold mine. Now, let me ask you this question. And you can ask this to them because I can guarantee you there's no way they'll be able to answer it. If your strategy is so good, then why isn't everybody profiting? Now, their answer will be, it won't even be an answer, it'll be an excuse. Their excuse will be, well, everybody is profiting. Okay, what you will find is that within every single company, there will be at least one person that is dissatisfied. Now, why? Obviously, these people will say, well, they didn't follow the rules. Okay, so it isn't the strategy, it's the person. The person is what makes it. That right there is the proof that the person is what makes this. And that is something that you have to understand. I can vouch for that. I do not use anybody else's strategy. I didn't go online and buy a strategy. I use basic technical analysis. I use my fundamentals as well. Some people who have seen my chart, and I will show my chart in some of these videos. I'm actually making videos soon that actually show my charting system. But or just charts on how I draw things and how I place things and how I take trades and stuff like that, just so you guys can understand how a person like me does trade, so you can kind of get an idea. But my charts are very, very clean, and I don't have a ton of indicators on there. And you'll see that a lot of these systems are filled with indicators. You have like 5 of these, 5 MAs, or 2 or 3 indicator windows opened up, and just all this absurd stuff that you do not need. You don't need it. And so it's just understanding that strategy is not what makes a trader good. Because if strategy was what made people great, then everybody would be millionaires. I just want you to understand that if the strategy was that good, then everybody would be millionaires, because all they would have to do was just follow. But that's why the excuse for these people is always this. Well, the strategy is great, just people that haven't followed the rules. It's their own fault. They didn't follow the rules. It's their own fault. It's their own fault. It's their own fault. It's not true. What usually tends to happen is that the strategy is not right for them and their style of trading. Now, there is one thing that you have to understand, and this is a harsh truth as well. If you want to consider it a harsh truth, I just think it's the truth, is that there's not one right way to trade. There just isn't. There's tons of different right ways. There's people who use indicators that I don't even use. I refuse to use them. And there's indicators that I use that they refuse to use. But it doesn't mean that I'm wrong or they're wrong. It just means that if I used what they were using, it'd be wrong for me. And if they used what I was using, it'd be wrong for them. So you will find within your journey of trading, you will end up making your own system. Well, that's what's going to end up happening. I know that it doesn't seem likely, I'm sure right now for some of you, but that is what's going to happen. It will come. You will start to probably buy systems, or get things for free online and just fiddle faddle with different things. You're going to put things here, put things there, take out this, put in that, whatever, what have you. You're just going to keep doing it, and eventually what will end up happening is you will make your own strategy. That's what will end up happening. And it was going to be what's right for you, because I'm a very, very conservative trader, but there are people that are around me that are very, very aggressive. It doesn't mean that what I do is wrong. It doesn't mean that what they're doing is wrong. It just means that it's not right for me. Now, with coming with aggressiveness, because there's going to be a lot of companies that I'm sure will hear that and say, aha, I've got you on something because you said aggressive was okay. Aggressive is okay in, how do I say this, in different forms. If you find someone who has an aggressiveness with a drawdown of like 80%, that is something you don't want to follow. And why that is because that means that they don't know what they're doing, essentially. If you see a portfolio and their drawdown is above 50%, and I kind of like have a bad taste in my mouth saying 50% because that's still kind of high, but 50%, anything higher than that, I wouldn't follow it, because you have the high risk of busting that account. You have a high risk of busting it. Since we're on the topic of portfolios, you have probably found, if this is your first video that you're watching of mine, if you have the time, watch my other ones where I talk about different companies, and some of these companies say that portfolios are not important. If a company says that a portfolio is not important, then you need to walk away. Telling you that now. If a company says that a portfolio is not important, then you need to walk away, because portfolios are very important. And why companies will say that and they will use that excuse is because they're hiding something. They'll usually say things like, I don't need one, I don't have to have one, and I have nothing to prove. Those are usually the three things that you usually hear, or you'll hear them all three together if you're really lucky. But a lot of them will say that, if not all of them will say that, at least one of those things. And they do have something to prove. Everybody does if they're trying to sell you something. You wouldn't want a person selling you a product that they've never used before, because then they wouldn't know how it works. How well is it? What does it do? They wouldn't know. And not only that, but from what I have found, there's no long-term history or data in any of these companies. They've been out for 2 years. Some of these companies have been out for 2 years, yet the only data they have is for 2 months. Why? Why is that? Why don't they have 2 years worth of data? Doesn't make any sense. 0 sense. So I want you guys to understand that. Now, questions that I want you guys to ask these companies is, number one, if you go to a company that is trying to sell you a system, sell you a strategy, sell you a method, whatever, ask them for a portfolio. Ask them to show you that it works. If they tell you, you can ask my students. Ask my students. They'll show you that it works. They'll tell you that it works. I'm going to give you an example of what that sounds like, and you tell me how you'd react in that situation. Say you had your car and it was sputtering or the engine was ticking. You would take it to a mechanic, right? We all would do that. If you went to a mechanic, let's say all the mechanics around you were closed, but there was this brand new mechanic that just kind of came out of nowhere. It was just, this mechanic that was out in the distance, and you were like, you know what? I'm going to take it there. Never been there, but I'm going to take it there. You go there, but you've never seen a car exit that facility. You've never, ever, ever seen a car exit that facility. So you have no idea how good or bad this person is at fixing cars, right? So you go into there and you talk to the owner and you ask them, hey, my car's ticking. I'd love for you to look at it and maybe fix it. And they say, well, great. This is going to be your estimate. It's going to be $2,000. Okay, well, is there something that I can see that, that you know what you're doing? You have some certification or anything like that? And their answer to you is, well, ask my employees. I'm great at what I do. Ask my employees. Ask anybody that works here. I'm great at what I do. Would you actually hand over your keys to that person? If the answer is yes, you really need to think about that, because that is something that you should not do. Because what that is you're setting yourself up to getting scammed, to getting conned, or a fraud getting a hold of your money. Because what they do is they love to pass the torch onto their affiliates. These quote-unquote students are not students. They're affiliates. And even if they're not affiliates, they only have what I like to call short-term gain. They have zero long-term gain. Ask a company, if they have been around for 2 years, ask them for a client that's been around for a year. I want to talk to the client that's been around for a year. If they can provide that, ask that client for a portfolio. And I guarantee you they will not provide one. And tell them I don't want a screenshot. I want a link, because I could tell you my FX book, FX Blue, it's easy to do. It's easy to do. And you do have something to prove. If someone says, oh, I don't have anything to prove to you, then you need to answer to them, well, then why are you charging me money? Because if you're charging for something, then you have something to prove. I don't know why people seem to believe that statement from people. Well, he's charging me money, but he has nothing to prove. Really? I don't get that. I really don't get that. I guess for me, I could write a pamphlet on how to become the world's best basketball player. I've never played basketball professionally in my life, but I guess I could write a pamphlet on it and I could sell it for $2,000 and that'd be okay, right? I don't have to prove myself. That's a really It's a really bad way. It's an ignorant way to look at it. It's a very ignorant way. And what I mean by that is that it's a very naive way. You don't understand that you don't process that type of thinking. It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. So with that, I want you guys to understand that a lot of these companies are switching over. The gears are turning. They went from signal service to training. And what I mean by training is training, training you. And they want to train you how to trade. I've heard companies say that training someone is the best proof that anybody can need. I don't know how that's possible, but okay. Doesn't make any sense. You need to have some sort of portfolio to show people. You don't have to have portfolio in just Forex and trading alone. You should have a portfolio in everything. What do you call a resume? I mean, all of these things. What do you call a background check? It's all of these things that show who you are, the decisions you've made, how you do things, why you did them. That's a portfolio in the trading world. And so people who say, well, I don't have to prove myself. Try saying that in a job interview. Well, I don't have to prove myself to you. You think you're going to get that job? No. You're going to, oh, well, okay, well, it's nice meeting you. Okay, you have a good day. Bye. That's just how it is. But this is what a lot of these companies, if not every single company that I have done reviews on, has done. Every single one of these companies has not provided me with a portfolio because they say they don't need one, because they say I don't have to prove myself. There was one company in particular where one of their clients had a portfolio, and it was dreadful. It was awful, 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 awful. And I posted it. The video was being privacy infringed. It was flagged for privacy infringement. It's gonna be hilarious when that report comes back in my favor. But it doesn't matter because I can repost it and just blur out the name and tell you the company that it came from. YouTube has told me that I have the right to do that. It's not a big deal. But because it doesn't say anybody's personal information, it's just the company. So now you know where it comes from. But this was a top person, supposedly. It was an affiliate of theirs, a person that trains other people, and their portfolio was horrible. When I posted it, they deleted it. Now you can't view it. Why not? Why can't you view it? Because it makes the company look bad. Because these companies don't want you to know how awful their training is. Understand that no one can train you the mindset it takes to be a trader. No one can do that. Zero. Not a single person. I can't even do that. Because I can give you the keys to a car and tell you, look, you're going to come across street lights. These street lights are going to go from red to green, and then from green to yellow to red. But you do not run a red light. But people still do it. If they're in a hurry, or they don't feel good, they're trying to get home, have an emergency, whatever. People still do it based off of their emotions. They don't care. People know they shouldn't brake check people, but they do it out of their emotions. And that is trading is the exact same way. I view trading, I tell people, I view trading the way I do life. It's the exact same thing. It's not a coincidence that what is considered to be the Holy Grail indicator is considered to be the Fibonacci retracement. It's the golden rule in life, the Fibonacci is, and it's also the golden ratio in trading. So I view trading just as I do life. And you have all of these rules, and they're all based off of your emotions. Every single rule that's based out of the Forex market is usually based off of your emotions, all of it. And so you have to understand that no one can teach you that. You have to teach yourself that. No one can teach you. And that's a harsh truth there. It's an ugly truth. Nobody wants to hear that. People want to be able to be just taught this stuff and be able to just be told what to do. It's not how it works. If you don't believe me, I implore you to look up the videos. It was a series called $1 Million Traders. It was a BBC special in the UK. It was a 3-episode thing. I think each episode is an hour long. Anton Creel and Lex Van Dam basically teamed together to make this show. If you don't know who Anton Creel is, look him up. If you don't know who Lex Van Dam is, look him up. Multi-millionaires, both of them. Anton Creel retired, I'm pretty sure retired before he was 30, because he became a multi-millionaire trader. I don't think any of them are considered to be quote unquote 4x traders, but they Anton Krill, if I remember right, I think he said less than 10% of his portfolio is 4x. He's more of, stocks, futures, things like that. That's what I mean. It's usually what he gets into. But they hire 8 people, all new to trading. I think one of them had traded before but had lost all of his money, but the rest of them were new to the market. Half of them left due to their emotions, and only 2 of them made money. I'm sorry. One of them was kicked out because he was so bad. 4 of them left. 3 of them remained. 2 of them made money, and 1 of them lost money. And that was within an 8-week period. 8 weeks. They traded Forex within there. You will see it on their charts. Some of the they'll show their charts sometimes, and they trade Forex on there. And you know what? You know what the highest percentage gain for that 8 weeks was? 1%. That was it. 1%. So when you have these newbies coming out who've been doing this supposedly for 2 years, a year and a half, and they promote 1,000% gain, they don't ever say that, but they say, I taught somebody how to turn $100 into $1,500. That's absurd amount of percent gain. And you need to ask for a portfolio. I want to see what's the drawdown. What was the risk? What was the risk on that? You deserve to know that, because without a portfolio, you will not know what the risk is, because everybody has their own preference. Some people want low risk. Some people want moderate risk, and some people want aggressive risk. I do that in my fund. I ask that question. Those are questions that I ask. And when it comes with that, in my own opinion, aggressive risk is something that's within 30%, 30 to 40% drawdown. But you can see some of these portfolios, like one of the companies that I've showed, that one of their clients' portfolios, the risk of ruin was 99% probability that they would lose their account across the board. So the portfolio was telling you they're going to bust their account. It's just a matter of time. It will go bust, and it's just a matter of time. If you were never shown that, you would have never known that. So why is it that these companies will not show you portfolio? They can hide everything. They can even hide the trades that they took. They can hide everything. But all you need to know is the drawdown, the risk of ruin, and that's pretty much all you need to know. That's pretty much all you need to know, and basically the overall percentage gain. That way you can get the idea. But don't take a portfolio that's only 2 weeks old. Don't take a portfolio that's a month old. If they've been around for 2 years, then they should have at maximum a 2-year portfolio, at minimum a 1-year portfolio. And if they cannot provide that, then they are hiding something, and they don't have something. So that is something that you need to understand. That is something that you need to realize, that these companies are not telling you the truth. They're not telling you the truth. I know a lot of these companies come back to me and say that I'm not saying facts. It's ridiculous, because it is a fact. The fact of the matter is that a lot of these companies are stealing strategies, methods from other companies, from companies like Steve Morrow. I've done reviews on 2 separate companies that have done this, and they sell it to you. It's illegal. It's intellectual property theft, and it's wrong. I don't work for Steve Morrow. I just believe that no one should steal. I believe that you should be a good, faithful man and a good, loyal person, and you should not steal from people. And this is what these companies have done. And you shouldn't do it. And yet people do, and they sell it to you. But I want you to understand something, is that it's very, very hard for you to know how, or not how, but it's very, very hard for you to tell if a strategy is theirs or not. And I want to tell you how you can find that out. If a company shows pictures of their template, take the photo, put it into Google image search and type Forex or something like that. Or sometimes you don't have to put anything. And usually you can find the system that way. If you can't find it that way, then put it onto Forex TSD. That's T as in Tom, S as in Sam, and D as in Delta. So you have Forex TSD, and put it onto the forum and say, hey, some company is selling this. Can you tell me what method this is? And they'll be happy to show you. There are people there in the community that want to be able to help you. And if you find out that it's somebody else's method, then you need to call them out on it and contact the original owner of that method and say, hey, someone has stolen your method and is selling it for money. And so I mean, it's just the exact same if someone stole something out of your friend's car and was selling it on the street. Would you not alert your friend and say, hey, or just a person in general? It doesn't even have to be your friend. It's just the right thing to do. So I believe that people who have been stolen from have the right to know. So that's why I went out and I've told Steve Morrow that his system has been stolen and is being sold off. I want you to understand that when you're going into this industry, it might be very easy for you to want to create your own group or to create your own this because you can make more money selling stuff to people, as you will find in this industry. But it's going to be easier for some people just to sell things than it is to actually trade. And there's going to come a time maybe that you'll find that a lot of these companies, it may come a time for you that you're going to understand how easy it is for you to find these systems for free online. But understand that it's illegal to turn around and sell them. It is illegal to do so. And it's crazy how many companies do it because they think they won't get caught. So another question that a lot of people ask me is why do people only do it with Steve Morrow's stuff? Why is it him? There's a really easy answer to that. Steve Morrow's market maker method, from what I've gathered from the free information online, actually, after doing these videos, this is how I found it out. Found out was that Steve Morrow's method is a huge cluster of information. It isn't just indicators in a template. It's this entire course. And so it's easily manipulated. People can take it, alter it, and make it as their own. And that's what these companies do. So I want you guys to understand that that's out there. Believe it or not, Steve Morrow, according to him, what he told me is he's in dispute with 14 companies. 14. So understand that right now there's 14 companies that have stolen his stuff and are selling it as their own. So just realize that. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Understand that if companies are out there promoting these high leverage brokers telling you, oh, all you need is $100 and all you need is $500, it's not a scam, but be warned. Those brokers could easily flip on you. They can alter with your trades. They're not regulated. So they could do all of this stuff to your account that you won't know is happening. And you won't be able to do anything about it. I've noticed that there's a lot of these the exact same companies, they'll tell their clients the moment they make profit to withdraw it quick, it's like they're in a hurry. Oh, you need to withdraw that money. You need to withdraw it. You need to withdraw it. You need to withdraw it. Why? Why is there such a need to withdraw money so quickly once you've made profit? There's a reason for that. It's because even they know that there's something amiss. So always understand that as well. I want you guys to understand that you guys have I've put my email on the comment section. It's available. I want you guys to ask me anything that you want. I do this on the side when I actually have the free time. I make a lot of videos when I have the time, and then I just post them when I have the time to post them. So I do have free time every once in a while. That's why I do this, because I want to help you guys. I want there to be somebody who can bring a voice to what people are thinking. There's been a few people already that have said, Bruce, you have really shined a light on a lot of stuff. You have basically connected a lot of dots into things that I was thinking. I mean, I have been thanked so many times, and don't thank me. I want to thank you, because you are what made this channel possible. And, you guys commenting, even if it's negative, because usually when people comment negative things, I usually am able to ask some questions and then they can't answer them and then they look a little foolish. But, so I want you guys to understand that if in the event that you ever go to these companies, I want you guys to ask questions. Ask them, where's your portfolio? Can I see your portfolio? If they cannot provide one, walk away. There should be no reason for them not to have one, because you're not getting a portfolio to see if they're legit. In my opinion, you're taking a portfolio to see how risky they are. I've done reviews on companies that had these extremely outlandish drawdowns to show the risk that they take. You wouldn't want to do that to your account. Nobody would. So that's why you would want to know that information. A lot of these people think that people asking for portfolios to see if they're legit or not. That's not the point. The point is that people want to know, what's your risk? What are you risking? Are you risking $1 to make $1, or are you risking $10 to make $1? So that people need to know that. as their client, I'm sorry, as your clients, you should provide that. If you say, well, I don't have to prove myself, well, then you need to step away from the industry, because you do have to prove yourself. If you're selling something to people, then you need to prove yourself. I'm sorry, but you need to. So what you'll find is there's going to be a lot of companies out there. I believe within this industry, and this is me being honest. I mean, as honest as I possibly can be without trying to be over exaggerating. I truly believe that about 97 to 98% of this industry is filled with con artists and fraudulent people, fraudulent companies. I don't think that it is coincidence that the majority, if not all of the videos that I've done and companies that I've looked at, the CEOs or owners of set Forex companies have been or still are part of MLM companies, or they used to be salesmen of something, network marketers. Why? Why is that happening? You don't find that in the pit. You don't find that in Wall Street. So why is that here? It's easily answered. It's because it's easy for them to sell you something, to make money off of you. Why is it that it's only in the social network that that's happening? Why is it not in the physical? Why is that not happening in the pits of Chicago? Why is that not happening in the streets and on Wall Street in New York, in the firms? Or not even in the firms, but in the retail trading world there. It's not happening there. So why is it in the social networking aspect of it, in the world of social media? Is because it's easy for them to sell. The plain and simple. Plain and simple. Nobody can answer that. Nobody can answer the reason why that is. It's because it's an easy answer, and they know it is. And I know you guys know it is. I want you guys to understand something before I end this video. A lot of people ask me, where can I go? Bruce, where can I go to learn? Where can I go? Where can I go? Where can I go? I'm going to make this very simple. There's websites out there that you can learn for free. You can go to babypips.com and find a lot of stuff for free online. You can go to forums, again, like I've said, Forex TSD, ask questions. You can find a lot of stuff. If there's books that you would like, look them up, and you can usually find free PDFs on them. Candlestick charting, pretty much free online. You can find like currency trading for dummies, but I think you can find this for free online, like a free PDF, and then just download it and put it on your computer or tablet or whatever. Pretty easy. But what I can tell you, another ugly truth is that this industry will chew you up and it will spit you out, and it will test you on your emotions. It will test you on a very, very deep level. Tests that you've never been tested before, things that you've never been tested before, tests that you've never taken before. It will test you majorly, just like life. And so you understand that it's going to take you a while to get this. The people that are in this industry for about 6 months now, you've got another probably good year until you start to see consistent profit. There's a lot of companies out there that will promote profit for a month and say that they're successful. It's not successful, okay? 1 month worth of profit is not successful. It makes me laugh so hard when I see companies talk about their one withdrawal for the month. My client withdrew this money. Look at all this money they made. And they make this huge deal. Make it like it's a success that they did that. That's not the long term. Have them do that every single month. For a year. I guarantee you they won't be able to. Not without high drawdown. And so, or they just won't be able to do it at all. This industry is there for the long term. Obviously, you're here because you want to learn how to build wealth. Obviously, and when I mean here, I mean in the Forex industry. Obviously, you're here in the Forex industry because you want to learn how to maybe quit your job, things like that. And since we're on the topic of quitting jobs, there's so many companies that will entice you with their quote-unquote students or clients when they're just their affiliates. And they'll say things like that. Well, they just quit their job. Probably because they got paid being an affiliate for you. not because they traded. So I want you guys to understand that. If companies have affiliates, I think that's okay. Whatever. I don't see the reason why you would do that if people are making money, but okay. But I mean, if they can't provide a portfolio, if the owner can't provide one, and even the clients can't provide one, a 6 month, 1 year, I mean, obviously the student would need like a 6 month, the owner would need at minimum a 1 year. If they can't provide that, then why are you following them? There's no reason for it. So again, before I keep going off these tangents, because there's just so much for this industry. It's sickening to my stomach what is happening to this industry. It's becoming a commercial cesspool. It's becoming where people just want to promote, and they just want to, get your sign up money, get your one time fees, charge you monthly statements and all this sort of stuff for crap or stolen stuff that they didn't even make. So understand that any information is free on the internet. It's free. If a company doesn't give you a knowledge-based course for free, then there's something wrong there. They should be able to give you that for free. Why? Because it's out there for free. It's out there for free. So I want you guys to realize that. I am not here to promote anybody or anything. I know a lot of people seem to believe that, but I'm not. A lot of people, I've been told that I'm in a competition with these companies. I don't know what that means. Obviously, for it to be a competition, there would have to be an in piece. There would have to be a point B, as it were. But there is none. Not for me, anyways. I can stop these videos whenever I want, but I've seen so many comments where people have thanked me and said, you've helped me from not wasting my money. People who actually did spend their money, and then they said, man, I wish you would have made this video sooner. So it's obvious that there's a need for this. There's a need for people to need that help. And I want to be able to give you guys that for free. Okay? This is a team thing. This isn't just me. I don't want to take this credit. This is a team thing. I get subscribers all the time, and it makes me feel good, the fact that you guys enjoy the content, and I appreciate that. I don't know how many subscribers are right now. I don't count it, but I never expected this much, and I appreciate that. I will never ever put ads on my videos. If there's an ad on a video, I don't know how all that works. So if there's an ad on a video, I didn't put it there. I don't plan on trying to make money off of these videos. I just want you guys to be informed. As you know, these videos are unedited. They're very, very raw. You'll hear my dogs barking. You'll hear my girlfriend stepping around the house sometimes. It's just, part of the videos. So it's because I do make these videos in my office, and at home. It just depends on where I have the time to do them. But sometimes you'll hear background noise. So they're very, very raw. I don't edit any of these because I want it to be material that you guys can know, well, man, he's got a point here from looking at different stuff. I hope that you guys find this video informative. If you guys have any questions or concerns with anything, please email me or make it in the comment section. I don't care. I'll answer them, or I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability in a time frame that I can't promise you that I can get to it right away. It just really depends. But I love you guys, and I know that you guys will make it as long as you keep going. Understand again that not everybody's cut out for this industry, so don't take that to don't get I guess affected by that in any way. Let that resonate with you, that maybe you're here for something bigger and better than Forex. I believe that there's a purpose for everybody in this world. And I was in the music industry before I was in this, actually, when I was a teen. And I actually worked for a music label in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. And I worked with big time acts, and I thought that was going to be my pursuit, and it wasn't. My life changed. And I went through a lot of heartache. I went through a lot of negativity in my life in order to get here. But this is obviously where I was supposed to be. So it's obvious that I wasn't made out for the music industry. That was not where my path was supposed to be. So I take that and tell you, as an experienced person that has experienced that in life, that everybody's not made out for this. So if you find that you're just going and going and going and going and going for years and years and years and years and years, and you just can't get it, it may just not be cut out for you. Don't chase that. Chase something else, because I know that everybody has more than just one dream, so just follow what is your gut is telling you. Your heart is never ever wrong. I know that you guys will make the right decision when it comes to the companies that you choose. Ask questions. It's important. Ask for the portfolio. Ask them for that. Companies that post for portfolios and they delete them almost instantly, don't trust it. It's there's something really, really sketchy about that. So just always understand that. I hope you guys have a great day. Have a great rest of the week. And as I always say, stay safe.